Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Doc of Detox show. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and today I have the honor of having Dr. Bruce Fong on. Now, today we're going to be talking about IGF-1, okay, for men. Now, understand something. What makes a man a man? Seriously? What makes a man a man? Well, understand something. A good part of making a man is IGF-1, and Dr. Fong's going to explain why you had lots of it in your 20s and even in your 30s and how it has diminished, but what if you could restore that? Dr. Fong?
Thanks, Daryl. Yeah, we always talk about in helping for everything from healthy aging to maintenance and just really general health for men when it comes to IGF-1. I mean, obviously, the biggest thing that we can talk about is the maintenance of testosterone levels. And one of the biggest things that IGF-1 does is that it stimulates something called luteinizing hormone, which comes from the pituitary of your brain. And it actually, that particular hormone is then acting on the testicles and actually helping to produce much more testosterone. And so over time, this level that continues to build up, it also helps not only through with us as men to may help to put on muscle mass, maintain muscle mass. Both the testosterone and the IGF do that. We also have the ability to have that extra drive in us, and that it goes from everything from drive to do things and being motivated to actually having great libido. And all these factors play in to these various things in an entire context of this biologic growth system, which comes from deer antler, that actually promotes the overall health of the body, where it makes the composition of the body much better, which there is a increased level of energy in the body. Your ability to repair damage is increased, and your ability to actually be able to put yourself out there in regards to being feeling healthy and feeling strong, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally. That extra energy, if you will, is going to always be there for you if you can maintain all these various factors, which unfortunately do diminish with aging. So let's put them back in there and be the best that we can be.
Thank you, Dr. Fong. So here's the deal, I guess. If muscle mass, okay, if motivation and libido is something that you're looking to restore, then you might want to check us out at store.docofdetox.com, or just go to docofdetox.com and look at IGF-1, okay? Let's just get it done. Let's take massive personal action, okay, to be the best that we can be, okay? And we need energy to do that. IGF-1 for women. Now, you might say to yourself, well, what is IGF-1? Never heard of it before, but I'll tell you, once you start taking it, you would definitely know this product. So, Dr. Fong, how does IGF-1 play an important role for women? Okay, they have the same composition as us. They made lots of IGF-1 when they're in their 20s and 30s, but when it started to deplete, what started to happen, and taking it, what would happen?
So, Daryl, in everybody, but especially in women, there is this increasing body composition change as the aging occurs. And again, as we lose these growth factors, which we produce more readily in our younger years, the body composition certainly is one of the first things to start to show that we have less ability to maintain the muscle mass and the healthy muscle mass that we would normally as we're younger. And unfortunately, a lot of that gets displaced with fat mass. And so that comes on board. Other things that the various growth factors in the IGF-1 product, which is a deer antler velvet growth matrix, include things that help us to maintain the various other tissues in our body. So one of the big things that we are worried about in aging in women is that as we go through the change, that we find that women have, unfortunately, a bigger risk factor for developing something called osteoporosis, which is thinning of the bone. And a lot of times, there are other factors, obviously vitamin D, that play into that. But the biggest factor I always find is that they need to have healthy estrogen and other hormone balances so that there's enough of a signal that's taking calcium and putting it back into the bone. And when we look at this, we know that the IGF-1 growth factors promote through luteinizing hormone secretion of increased levels of estrogen. But if your organs themselves are not able to secrete it, obviously we would be talking about bioidentical hormone replacement therapies. But above and beyond that, the growth factors in this growth matrix are designed to help the body also to repair damages and to maintain other tissues. One other growth factor in this product is bone morphogenic growth factor, which is something that helps to actually repair the bone and to maintain healthy bone structure, the trabeculae, if you will. Osteoporosis, things kind of come apart. You develop like holes in your bone, and so just putting calcium back in there, which is what the standard of care is we throw big things like bisphosphonates and other mineral compounds back in there, and it might fill the holes in, but now your structure, your bone, which was trabecular, meaning that there was a certain organization to it, that's kind of obliterated. Yeah, the bone's filled in, but it's now brittle. Believe it or not, the original structure, because it had areas that are supposed to be more solid, some areas that are a little less solid, provided, for example, in this case, some flexibility in the bone. And with that, when you've gone to osteoporosis, the common thought is that you can fill it back in, but you'll never have your bone being the same. Well, there is a potential with the bone growth factors that are in this IGF-1 product that you can help to build that bone with a more proper architecture when you are providing those mineral compounds in there. So this is a clear indication of a therapeutic benefit that could be increased by the utilization of these products. But even more importantly, again, I've said it before, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Having these growth factors on board, even when you are going through menopause, where you can't make the amount of female hormones anymore, it still helps to maintain all those secondary tissues around that keep you healthy. All the other things, the wonderful cardiovascular benefits of the IGF-1. Ladies, when you go through menopause, I hate to tell you this, but before menopause, you had 1/3 the risk of cardiovascular disease as a man does. When you go through menopause, unfortunately, you have the same risk. So why not have those protective effects for the cardiovascular system that are in these growth factors as an extra added buffer or protection as you move forward? And again, just in general, we talked about body composition earlier. Certainly, the main constituent of the IGF-1 product is insulin-like growth factor 1, which is going to improve your ability to make, put on, and maintain your muscle, and to specifically shift the metabolism in your muscles from using as much sugar to being able to utilize more of your fat for the energy production. And by that token, you are going to burn up the fat to build the muscle, so it actually improves your body composition. So overall, there's so many wonderful benefits for this for women, but all for everybody in general for healthy aging.
So here it is, okay? So we see that the IGF-1 is something that is foundational. And just know this, everybody. We do bone density testing here, and we use a product called IGF-1, and we use another one that's called ionic calcium therapy. Now, within 3 months of doing these two products, on the average, we see a bone density changing by 30% in most individuals. Most people do not understand that there's only actually one product in the world that actually is an ionic calcium. And then the other thing is we do have the best IGF-1. So you bring these two together, and you're going to find that you've got two of the most important nutritional products to come together, not just for the safety of the heart or the metabolism or the muscles, but what about the bones? And I'll tell you something right now. I know a lot of people and I know a lot of products, and there's nothing that I've ever seen on this planet that these two products, that anything can even come close to these two products when they work together with revitalizing the bones in someone. We've had women that have had their bones actually fracturing and crumbling, and within 9 months to a year have the bone structure of a 30, 40-year-old. And we're talking about women that are in their 70s and 80s. So I know I've gone a little longer than I would usually talk in a session like this, but please go check out ionic calcium therapy in my library, and you can actually go and watch ionic calcium therapy and osteoporosis. We did a whole show on it, of all the scientific data, and then you've heard what Dr. Fong had to say, so have heart and bone up, because you know what? You're worth it. Have a beautiful day.